readings are just fantastic, and so good for today. I was reading the response to the psalm, kindness and truth shall meet. That is not going to be fulfilled in your hearing today. If that's what you came for, you're not going to get it here. You'll have to go somewhere else. I would like to acknowledge that this has been an extremely emotional week, and I have a number of very intense emotions raging within me that I am battling to keep under control, which I think is correct. There are lots of reasons to have very strong emotions this week, and if you have not had them, you may not actually be functioning properly. And then virtue is required to use those emotions properly. And I'd also like to acknowledge that that this is a very vulnerable time for people that are blessed with interesting and exciting temperaments, as I have. Many people are blessed with very boring Scandinavian personalities. It's not my fault. But those of us who are interesting and Irish, we are very vulnerable when we are constantly asked to stand up in front of people and speak in a public setting, especially for an institution as significant as the church. And so many emotions, and I was reminded this morning, trying to understand all that's going on. I remember when the priest scandal was really bad when wasn't it really bad? I mean, when it was, I don't know how to describe it, when it was as absurd can be. And, there's even a community. I'm going to talk a long time today. If you don't want this, then I'm sorry. You probably should go somewhere else. The priest, there's even a sort of a routine now established in the Archdiocese of a consequence of this. It's called communications update, which I'm almost certain was established. It's like an email we get every week about news stories in the media, because when the scandal was as more outrageous as outrageous can possibly be, we priests found ourselves standing in pulpits totally blindsided by the scandals and the corruption going on. And we're supposed to be on the front line talking to people, and we have no idea why this is happening, what is going on. And it was very uncomfortable. It was, and when I was thinking about, and there's something about that I'm feeling even still and right now this week, and it's like I'm drawing a lot on the life of King David, and somewhat ironically in the circumstances where he's the bad guy, when he puts Uriah the Hittite, he needs to get rid of Uriah so he can have Bathsheba. He puts Uriah in the front line, and he says, and then put him in the front line, and then withdraw the support, leave him out there so they can slaughter him, and that's the way I feel. That the emotion of betrayal and abandonment that Uriah must have felt by putting out there and then having all the soldiers retreat, and that is, I think, gets at the heart of the uncomfortable feelings that I have felt as having to stand in this pulpit to preach about various difficult things, including the life issue that we preach about today. Yes, I agree that yesterday's statement that I read from Archbishop Gomez was a good statement. But my goodness, why weren't we reading this from the pulpit 3 months ago, before the election? Why? So kindness and truth are not meeting today. I'm sorry. That's for somebody else, and I bet there's a lot of people who can do it for you. There was another thing about King. Oh, yes! I hope, you might have heard that the president is Catholic. Perhaps you've heard that. Perhaps you heard that he went to Mass on Wednesday. I don't care. That does not impress me. I hope he's at church today. I hope he's at Mass today. And I want whatever priest is there to have prayed to Nathan the prophet, who told David a story. There was a man, a poor man. He had a little sheep. He had a little sheep. And there was a rich man. And he said, I want that sheep. I've got all the other sheep in the world, but I want that sheep. Give me that sheep. And he took that sheep from him. And David said, and Nathan says, what do you think about that? Oh, David, that man should be killed. He's the worst. That's just, you're the man. You're the man, President Biden. Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Judas Iscariot was an apostle. He betrayed Christ. You are the man. Wow, this is more energetic than I expected. I'm so angry. There should be more people here at Mass. I'll probably get a letter. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore.